Hello everyone, I'm Sai Priya, a cloud engineer from the I team. Today, I'm going to demonstrate how you can upload the files to object storage from Oracle Application Express. Here are some of the steps to configure Apex to upload the files to the object storage. Firstly, configure the web credentials and then the REST data source. Create an Apex application and display the list of buckets and its contents. After which, you can proceed to create a model page and trigger a process to enable the users to upload the files to the selected bucket. Let's log into Oracle Apex and click on Application Builder to create a new application. Let's give it a file name. Now, click on Create Application. Let's go ahead and create web credentials. Click on Web Credentials under Security. I have already created a web credential, but otherwise if you want to create one, you can click on the Create button to create your own credentials. Enter your name, static identifier, select the authentication type as OCI, enter the private key, tenancy ID, and fingerprint. Now click on Apply Changes. Let's proceed to create REST data sources. Go to Shared Components and click on Create REST data source from the scratch. Select the data source type as OCI and enter the name as list_buckets. Enter the URL endpoint to list the buckets within the compartment. And then click Next. Review the base URL and service URL path under the remote server. Enable the authentication required and select the credentials which you just created. Go to the Advanced Settings and pick the parameter type from the drop-down. Enter the compartment ID from your OCI console. Slide the Is Static button and click Discover. The API pulls in the list of buckets in the mentioned compartment ID, and now you can proceed to create the REST data source. After you successfully create the REST data source, we will create another one for listing the objects within the bucket. Update the name and its URL endpoint. Click on Next to review the remote server settings. Slide the Authentication Required button and update your credentials. Click on Advanced Settings to update your parameters. Update the parameter name, type, and the value. Go ahead and update the type as query string variable, its parameter name as fields, and its value. Slide the Is Static button and click on Discover to see the list of objects in the bucket. Now, we are able to successfully create another data source for listing the objects within the bucket. Next step is to create a selectable list of bucket names and display it on a page. Go to the Shared Components section, select the list of values, update the name and its type as dynamic. Click on the REST data source tab, select the REST data source as list_bucket and click Next. Now, proceed to update the column mappings. Select the written column name and display column name as name and click on the Create button. We are now going to create application definition attributes. Go to the Shared Components and select Application Definition Attributes. Switch to the Substitutions tab and update the base URL and OCI web credentials. We will be using these substitutions later in this lab. Great. Let's start building the Apex application, which contains two pages. The first page is a home page, which displays the list of buckets and its contents, and the second page is where we are going to upload the file to the object storage. Go to the home page and add a page item. Give it a name and type as select list. Under the Page Action Selection drop-down, select Submit Page. Scroll down to find the list of values section. Select the type as shared component, list of values as bucket_list, unselect display extra values and save. Create another region to display the contents of the bucket. Set the identification title, type as classic report, and location as a REST source, and pick the REST source, that is list_objects, which we have created to list the objects within the bucket. Select the bucket name under the page items to submit and save. In order to display the bucket contents based on the selected bucket, select bucket_name under the parameter section. And now select the value type as item and then the item as p1_bucket name. Save and run this application. When you run the application, you will observe that the bucket contents gets updated based on the selected bucket. You can go ahead and create another page to upload files. Select a blank application and then update the title of the page, that is upload files, and then click on next. Leave all the settings as it is and click on finish. Once the page has been created, you can go ahead and create a region within the page. Right-click on the content body and create a new region. Set the title of the region as upload file and then go ahead and add a hidden item inside the region. The hidden item is p2_bucket name, which stores the value of the bucket name being passed from the home page. Add the file browser to the page and select the storage type as table apex_application. You can go ahead and add an upload button and make sure that the action is set to submit page. Alright, let's create another button for cancel. Create a dynamic action to close the dialog whenever you click this button. The next important step is to create a process to upload the files to the object storage. Here, we will be writing a PLSQL code to upload the file. In the properties section of the process, go to the code editor section and add the PLSQL code. Validate the code and make sure there are no syntactical errors. Let's go through the code in detail. As Apex automatically stores the files uploaded in Apex application temp files, we are going to add a query to select the file name and the blob content. We have also declared and defined the LRequest URL, which contains the base URL, selected bucket name, and the name of the object. The LResponse is where we are going to call a REST service to upload the files to the object storage using the put_http method. The final step is to create an upload button on the home page to pass the value of the selected bucket name to the next page. Switch to the home page and add an upload button. Set the action to redirect to the page in this application and select the target page. Set the P2 bucket name with the value selected in the P1 bucket. Now, go ahead and click the OK button. Also, create a dynamic action to refresh the bucket contents based on the selected bucket name. Update the name of the dynamic action and set the action as refresh. And under the affected elements, select the bucket contents region and save all the changes. Now, time to test the application. When we select the bucket contents are being refreshed automatically. Select a bucket and click the upload button. It will open another page which will allow you to upload the file. Go ahead and upload the file from the file browser. You get a confirmation message that the object is uploaded successfully. You can then switch to the OCI console to verify. Congratulations! You have successfully uploaded the object from Apex.